Yeah,
Start
started.
now, sir. Start.
Okay.
Started.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Uh, Good afternoon to one and all present here into this fifth day of a faculty development program, Communication Skill in English for Teachers. I'm Amit Sawan, faculty for English Communication in the Department of First Year Engineering, PUPIT Budgaon, and wishing everyone a happy and healthy life into this painful COVID-19 pandemic situation. I feel proud and privileged to welcome our guest of honor and speaker of the day, Dr. Milind Pandit, an associate professor and head in the Department of English at MSS Arts, Science and Commerce College, Ambad District, Jana. He is to be known as an acclaimed expert in a linguistic and scholar and academician. Sir, I'm just happy to say that we are all the members of PUPIT family, a leading institute of the Western Maharashtra, providing high quality education for the engineering aspirants more than 3 decades since its establishment in the year 1983. The institution committed to contribute the advancement of knowledge and the wisdom in the science and technology for the human welfare. In the continuation of the same legacy, this program aims at the reinforcement of the teachers by equipping them with the various aspects of a communication skill. I express the heartiest welcome to our principal, Dr. D.V. Gavade sir, and also welcome Dr. A. Patil ma'am, the head of the first year engineering department. I also welcome our coordinator Yasin Davde and all the members of organizing committee and all the participants for being the part of this faculty development program. Sir, we all know that English is a global language and the lingua franca of the world for the interpersonal relationship and the communication. We believe the scientific study of a language, that is phonetics, will definitely help us to meet our expectation. So we are all enthusiastic to know about the phonetics. But before going further, it's my job to introduce you, sir. Uh, Sir's educational qualification is he completed his MA in English, also qualified the SET and NET examination. He also completed his PhD and CTE. The PhD topic is that the Mahashweta Devi, post-colonial and subaltern aspect. His areas of interest is linguistic and theory, literature, and social studies. His ambition is want to be a teacher that would help the cause of revolutionizing the country and the academic and intellectual basis. The work experience for teacher as officer as a teacher, he's a full-time faculty, associate professor at the MSS Arts, Science and Commerce College, Ambad District, Jalna. He is working since 8th of July 2003. She worked as a resource person in many places, central and state universities for delivering lectures on academic and social grounds. He delivered addresses, keynote and valedictory at state and national, international level seminars and in conferences, workshop and refresher and short-term courses across the India. He has published 2 books, one authored and one is edited. He published more than 10 research articles, papers, standard and reputed and peer-reviewed international and national level journals and books. She also worked as an editor and epitome journal of International Journal of Multidisciplinary Research, appear on literary cognizance and international rapid e-journal of English language and literature and criticism. As per as we talking about the creative writing, he's a sole creator of many poems, short stories in English, and a translator of literary works. He has also participated in more than 15 international conferences and 22 national conferences. But more important thing that we have to note it down is that he has a personal library with around more than 10,000 books that worth rupees 5,50,000 rupees. He is a sole recipient of a Krantiba Jyotiba Phule State Level Ideal Teacher Award 2016. He also the youngest recipient of Matsyadevi Shikshan Samstha Jalna. He is a recipient of Ideal Teacher Award Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad, September 2014. He is also recipient of the Shri Vasantrao Kale Memorial Award 2013 for the best service teacher as a services as a teacher. A research paper entitled Representing the Plight of Dalit and the Women, a study of Karan Kumar Mumbai's Hindu has been published at Central University of India. As talking about the strength of a sir, can teach any subject falling within the purview of English language and literature. He is a competent and a good communicator of English, Marathi, and Hindi, and a competent compeer. Successfully he compared two international level conferences at Pune and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Aurangabad. As far as talking about Sir's future plan, she want to be a postdoctoral research in the linguistics with the a special focus on development of a phonetics of the Marathi language. He also some has good hobbies and interests: reading, writing, social work, watching sports news. Such a big, complex and inclusive uh, information that he is that we can say worth to be one who actually guides us to be how to teach us to train us in a good in the communication skill. So even though I just remind you each and every participant, even though he has some health issues, is ready to accept our invitation. But it's my humble request to sir, if you at any time feel that you are not able to continue the session, you can just suspend the session. Okay, so I request you, sir, to start the session right now.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think you have introduced me to a full length, which consumed time. But anyway, I didn't feel it better to interfere and ask you to or request you to stop. Anyway, I am really thankful to you, Mr. Chavan, that you have offered me a permission that I can continue in accordance with my physical comfort. Yes, I have been unwell for about the last 24 days, or more than that, yes, around 25 days. And that is actually what made me weak. And when Sarjarao had called me, since it was my word given to him before I was ill, I had to accept, of course, this invitation, and it was part of my duty to keep my word. But anyway, I'm so happy to be here as part of this faculty development program. First of all, I would like to place on record my heartiest gratitude to Dr. D.V. Ghevade for this kind of invitation. I am also grateful to Dr. Anushka Patil, Head, Department of Communication, I suppose, Mr. Chavan, all the faculty members, and Mr. Sarjara Narwade, who is basically responsible for bringing me in contact with you all. Mr. Sarjara Narwade has been a former student of mine, and I have known him for about 2 decades. As a student, he had been so sincere, and more importantly, he is quite simple. He is straight forward, or what we can say is forthright and innocent, actually, and that is why I could not say no to him. And as far as his academic performance has been concerned, I do believe that he is a potential academic, and yes, I'm thankful to him as well. And again, I would like to be thankful to all the faculty members, participants, and everyone being part of this faculty development program. Now, may I please request you to allow me to present my screen?
Yes, sir. You can start presenting.
Okay. I think it's not visible. Is it visible?
No, sir, no.
Okay. Just a second.
Sir,
Hmm.
uh, may I
J-
help you?
Uh, I think it may be visible now.
Yes, right. Okay, sir. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, as Mr. Chavan has rightly said, Western Maharashtra happens to be, uh, one of the excellent centers of Maharashtra and of the countries, sorry, of the country, as far as learning is concerned, and taking quality education ahead is concerned. And I have always had a kind of desire to pay visit to the Western Maharashtra, but coincidence matters. Maybe shortly in time to come, I would be able to take a tour of the Western Maharashtra. I am, yes, really curious to visit that place. Anyway, uh, I welcome you all to this presentation, and this is just an interaction between you and me. And I am going to just discuss basic phonetics. And I am again thankful to all the members being part of Padma Bhushan Vasantrao Dada Patil Institute of Technology, Budgaon District, Sangli. With this, I would like to begin my presentation. This is how I would like to start. See, generally, language is an area that has long remained in great neglect, particularly in our country. I do believe we people do not take language seriously, whereas I have been tired of telling the people that language happens to be the fundamental of having access to any area of knowledge. Without language, it is not possible to develop, to mug up, and to, for example, extend and expand the domain of knowledge. Any subject that we wish to discuss, language happens to be a must. Now, language has been understood as a means of communication, but that cannot be a broad definition one can have. We have also other aspects of language. The deeper we go, the more entertaining and knowledgeable the area of language comes to us. And that is why it is important that we take cognizance, we have cognizance of, the levels, standard levels of language. For example, when we deal with the branch of language called, the area of language, scientific area of language called linguistics, we find that linguistics was once a limited subject, but later on it has given a lot of, or it has created a lot of scope for development of, say, other branches. For example, we have phonology, we have morphology, we have syntax, semantics, semiotics, translation. We also have computational linguistics, and there are so many. I mean, sociolinguistics, etc. These are the branches of linguistics. Now, they have emerged as individual disciplines of study. Now, the importance of linguistics is that it studies language scientifically, and I would like to share with you the basic premise of the linguists of the world. They believe that no language can be right or wrong, correct or incorrect. Every kind of language is acceptable. It is only the context that matters. For example, we have various contexts like formal, informal, slang, semi-formal, and there are many other contexts like you have cant. These are also called as registers of language. What kind of register we choose depends upon our choice, and that actually determines identity of a language. Having said this, I would like to tell you that as the premise tells us that no language can be standard or substandard. It's always a matter of context, public acceptance. And sometimes you find that even grammatically wrong sentences can become part of standard linguistic context. It depends upon what kind of approval the people offer to recognize a language. And if they consider, although this is grammatically, for example, I shall tell you one sentence. When we speak in terms of gender, because language is a sensitive area, and you cannot part ways with gender. And nowadays there has been great attempt of degenderizing language, and this degenderization carries even wrong sentences, grammatically wrong in a common sense, but they have greater significance of the context. For example, when I say, if someone wants to come with me, they are allowed. I have no objection. Now, when someone is used in the first place, how can it be replaced with they in the other? Because they modifies or they carry this someone forward in the context. Now, looking at it from a grammatical point of view, we find that this sentence becomes wrong in our common sense. But when we see the context of it through the prism of or through the lens of gender identity, we find that there has been a consistent attempt to neutralize gender identity, and that is what I was talking about. Now, this is one thing. Another thing is that we find that the language has dialects. For example, in Maharashtra, we find many varieties of Marathi. For example, we have Marathi from the Western Maharashtra, Marathi from say, Vidarbha, Marathi from Marathwada, Marathi from Khandesh. Now, these do not match. Not only this, even if we take one specific variety of Marathi, for example, Western Maharashtra, we find that that Marathi keeps changing as we go on crossing the distance while traveling across this western region of Maharashtra. For example, there may be, or I'm not sure, but then I feel most certainly that there should be difference between the Marathi that is spoken by the people from the district of Kolhapur and that spoken by the people from Sangli district. So these are the varieties of Marathi that are called dialect. There are some dialects that are considered as substandard by people, and we find that language, as I already said to you, is a matter of sensitivity. And one region speaks about their mother tongue as having better variety of that tongue, whereas the same region talks about substandard variety of language. These are the issues of language, and these conflicts continue still. And as you understand, uh, that phrase which I referred to, no dialect can be substandard, no dialect can be standard. It is always a matter of context. Which context has been preferred by the people in general always matters, and that actually gives rise to the standard variety of language. Anyway, let me come back to phonetics. Why did I speak about standard and substandard things related to language? The reason is phonetics. See, phonetics is defined by Oxford Dictionary as the study of speech sounds and how they are produced. Now, we have people from different places. One word is there, and that word is pronounced differently by, say, the people. For example, we have a word like Origin. Some people are, instead of Origin, let me extend it, Original. There are some people, or the majority of people, pronounce it as original. There would be some others who would be pronouncing it as original, whereas the standard pronunciation, standard I mean accepted by the wide majority of people from across the world, it would be pronounced as original, and that is what you would find in every standard dictionary. Now, the people that pronounce it as original or maybe original, etc., may be mocked by, say, those that know the actual pronunciation of that. This is what actually phonetics does. It studies standard and non-standard. I mean, non-standard is a term that has been used. Standard and non-standard pronunciation of people. And there are speech sounds as well. I shall be coming to them later on. See, there are also certain assumptions, questions, and issues posed by Indians in particular. For example, is phonetics required? And most of the people would say, not at all. Why should we follow their way of communication? I mean, why should we go for the way established by the British, etc.? Is pronunciation necessary? And yes, there would be some people who would believe, yes, it is necessary, and the majority of them would be saying, no, pronunciation is not necessary at all. Now, can I put this question and find at least one or two responses? If I ask you, is pronunciation necessary? What is your response? Anybody, please. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Ma'am, Dr. Anushka, ma'am. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Pronunciation is very important to make the effective communication and make impressive language of speaking in front of any other person.
I see. Your name, please?
Dr. Sanjay Patil.
Are you from engineering faculty?
I am from basic science, that is physics faculty at engineering college.
I'm really happy that a person not related to English discipline has given such a marvelous response, because generally we come across negative responses in relation to pronunciation. Anyway, can anybody else have a different opinion on this? Please be frank enough, because we have had a democratic ambience here. So I would be happy to receive every kind of response. Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes. Tell me your name and
Pronunciation.
subject, please.
My name is Ashutosh Dandegar. I am
Oh,
from Mechanical Engineering Department.
okay, I'm happy, sir.
So if pronunciation is correct, then it would help to deliver the exact message to the
Okay,
listener.
okay. So I have received another response as well. That means I can guess that with the help of these two samples, we can come to conclude that the majority of the audience believes that pronunciation is necessary, if I'm not in the wrong. And then here are some people that always say, no, not pronunciation, but meaning is important in communication. See, meaning is an area that has almost immeasurable depth, and there's a special branch created by linguistics called semantics, which simply deals with the meaning. That is all. That is a full length subject now. And meaning is not, for example, something that we usually understand. See, I very often talk to the people, especially my students, that one word does not have one specific meaning. And when I ask them as to how many meanings are associated with the words like come, and they say just one, that is, in vernacular, ye, or maybe in Hindi, aiye, etc. And I keep telling them that there are as many as more than 100 meanings associated with this word, that is come. So meaning is such an area which cannot have a limited meaning at all, or which cannot have a limited interpretation. Meaning is important in communication, no doubt about that. But meaning also keeps on changing when you keep on changing your pronunciation. That I shall possibly come to express very soon. See, you are the faculty members from, say, engineering college, and you know that your students must be aspiring to be, abroad, etc. And they would be aiming at a career abroad. And for the sake of that, what happens is, they have to clear at least two tests. And there are others as well. For example, there's one called TOEFL, TOEFL. Unless they clear it, they cannot go abroad for making their prospects. Another one is IELTS. Nowadays, IELTS is also in, say, the news. Then, to prepare for TOEFL or IELTS, they have to work upon, aspects of language, expression of that language, and that, involves phonetics in particular. Grammar may be correct, but what about phonetics? What about pronunciation? What about accent? What about intonation? Everything is tested. And unless this test is cleared, one cannot move abroad. That is the case. And that is why phonetics plays a very important role here. And that is why I wanted to bring to your notice that phonetics is something that is a very important area. Unfortunately, that has been neglected in our country. Now, I would like to have responses from you people on the words that I have put here. How would you pronounce this word? Just a second. This one, upon which the cursor appears. Someone please speak in a hurry, because I wouldn't be speaking for long, although I am a bad speaker that continues for as long as 3 hours time, but I'm not in a position today at all. how would you pronounce the first word?
Salunke sir, can you reply? Salunke sir, Abhijit Salunke sir.
Yes, sir.
Please try first word, please.
Engineering.
Engineering. Did I hear it? Okay.
Yes.
Second one.
Noted.
Okay. Did I hear noted? Noted, right?
Yes.
The third word.
Work.
sir.
Work. Work.
Okay. The fourth one.
Hopeless. Hopeless.
Okay. The fifth one.
Statement. Statement.
Okay. The sixth one.
Goodness.
Okay. Next one.
Sensation.
Okay. The next one.
Mass.
Statement. Goodness.
Okay.
Capacity.
Okay. Capacity.
Its anatomy.
Sorry, madam.
Its anatomy.
Okay. Anatomy. Right. This one.
Biology.
Okay. This one.
Chemistry.
Sorry, I could not hear you.
Chemistry.
Okay. Chemistry. This one.
Mechanical.
Okay. Did I hear mechanical?
Yes.
Mechanical.
Okay. Okay. This one. This one.
Mechanics.
Mechanics.
Okay. This one.
Thomas.
Thomas.
This one.
Anthony.
Okay. Okay. Fine. This one.
Helen.
Okay. And the last one.
Hair.
Okay. Well, I am afraid you are right in your own place, of course, but your pronunciation, I'm afraid, does not match to the one or the kind that is available into the dictionary like Oxford or say pronunciations dictionary by Daniel Jones, which is considered as the best dictionary of the world in pronunciation, or say that of Longman, any other dictionary. See, the first word is pronounced as engineering. It begins with A rather than E. The other one, the second one is noted. It is tid. It is not dead. The third is worked. Worked. It ends in t of turbos if your mother tongue is Marathi. Then the next one is hopeless. The next is statement. The next one is goodness. Then the other one is sensation. Next is mass. Is there any problem?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay.
From your side, I think
Okay.
is going on very near to you. So
Oh,
some problem is from that side.
my side?
हाँ सर कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्क वगैरह सुरू आहे का आजूबाजूला
Yes, it is there.
Yes sir, that creating problem.
Okay.
Some noise is there, but okay,
I
no.
see.
Yes sir.
Okay, I'll speak aloud. The next one is mass. It is never mass, but it is mass. The next one is was rightly pronounced. It was capacity, pronounced as capacity. Yes, that was correct. The other one is anatomy. It's anatomy. Then we have biology. Logy always ends in logy, never logy. then it is chemistry. I mean, I have chosen some words from your field only. Chemistry, it's not chemistry. Then we have mechanical or mechanical. It is not me. It is either me or it is me. Then we have mechanics. It's not mechanics, or it is not mechanic. It is mechanic. It's mechanic or mechanics. Then it is Thomas. It is, I mean, th is never there. It is Thomas. Then we have Anthony. It is never Anthony. It's Anthony. The next one is Elaine. It is not Helen. It is Elaine. And the last one is air. Why did I put these words to you? The reason is simple. I wanted you to realize importance of phonetics. Phonetics corrects all these things. Whatever lacuna we have or lacunae we have, they are all overcome by the area of phonetics. This is not your fault at all, because you have pronounced it the way your teachers did. And generally we keep following our teachers. So you were wrongly taught, or maybe you were otherwise taught, and that is why you carried forward that legacy, and it's not your fault. Then what is phonetics? I would like to ask you some other questions. Now tell me, how many vowel sounds are there in English?
Are you?
Okay, which are they?
A-E-I-O-U.
Okay. And how many consonant sounds are there?
21.
21.
So 5 plus 21, it is 26, right?
26.
Okay. So this has been the most general response I received from the audience. But what you have said, again I would tell you, it's not your fault, is not, say, in line with what is actual, or what is, say, the exact situation. In English, there are 20 vowel sounds. And there are also some 5 more added to that. Sorry, 7 more added to that, which means it is 27 vowels in English language. The new addition, that is 7, is not widely accepted, and that's why this number still remains up to 20. But the advancement is, or the latest development, 7 vowel sounds, and there are 24 consonant sounds. If you want to go for the established list, it is 44. And if you want to go for the advanced list, it is going to be 51. It is vowel sounds plus consonant sounds. Now, what are they? See how we have been taught, and that is the problem. It is not only your problem, it was also my problem. Unless I came in touch with say, the area of phonetics, the subject of phonetics, I also carried the same impression that there are 5 vowel sounds and 21 consonant sounds. And I carried the same impression as long as I was not aware of phonetics. And later on, I came to realize the basic reality. Actually, what you have said are the alphabet. And alphabet is, for example, A to Z. And what I wanted to tell you is this. See, there is International Phonetic Association around the world. Can you see all this?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So International Phonetic Association produced a list of all these sounds. See, initially there was a problem in England because even in England, many varieties of English were spoken, and it was in the initial part of, say, the 28th century that the people started facing problem of getting understood accent of each other. For example, Northern England had a different accent from what was Southern accent. And there was a person called, public school teacher he was. See, the teachers in Europe have been highly creative. I do not mean they are not in our country. I'm speaking about school teachers. He was a school teacher, public school teacher, and he felt interest in this area, and he thought of working upon it, and he studied pronunciation of every area of England. And then he came to realize that different people pronounce the same word differently. So there has to be one model. And initially, there was a model produced by this man called Daniel Jones. And this model was considered as received pronunciation. So he wanted to say, he wanted to say he wanted to say that there was, you know, there was the need or dire need of, say, one pronunciation around the world. And as it was, he wanted to give uniformity of pronunciation. And that is why he created a dictionary. And that dictionary has gone through as many as 16 editions, or maybe more than that. I think I have the 17th edition of it. Because England at that time was the most dominant country in the world, and English was considered as a language of world communication, since it was imperialism of the British, and the British had occupied, almost more than 50% of the world space. The people had come under their domination, and their language was being accepted, and that is why a specific model was generated there. So basic symbols were created, and these are the symbols. I have actually written them on the page yesterday. I didn't have much time to create, say, a full-length PPT. This presentation is still incomplete because even tomorrow I have to discuss certain other issues. But let us see if we can work it out today as much as possible. Yes, I wrote it down on page so that I could make it more facilitating, because in dictionary you do not find such entries, particularly this area, that is Devanagari. See, we have the symbol called P, and it is pronounced as pen. That is available in the example PEN, and I have underlined it, underscored it. We have B, and it is in bird. We have T, as in T. Now, mind it, when you put slashes around these letters, they do not remain alphabet. Rather, it becomes phonetic alphabet. It doesn't remain letter. See, there are two kinds of communication. One is written, the other oral. Written communication is produced on the basis of letters. A to Z are the letters, whereas these are the sounds. And sounds together produce oral communication. And that is how the list is before you. When, for example, a small letter like D is put between the slashes, it becomes a sound. It does not remain a letter. So small letters have been collected together, put in between the slashes, and they have been given, say for example, the status of the sound. Now, this you can understand: go in king, go in go. See, go is generally pronounced as go, but it is not go. It has to be pronounced as go. So go occurs in the beginning, that is why I have underscored it. The next is ch, and that's a different symbol, as in chin, then j as in jin, f as in fan, and v as in van. I would like to go to, uh, actual pronunciation of f and v. This is British pronunciation. Is this list visible to you? List of sounds?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me if that video clearly comes to you or not. Okay. Now see, this is the British pronunciation of f. Now let us say American pronunciation as well. Now my question to you is, what difference did you realize between the two types of pronunciation, British and American? Can anyone point out, please?
Sir, if you repeat both of the pronunciation,
Okay. I'll do it. Now observe it carefully, please. Particularly movements of the jaw, and record your response. Yes, this is British.
sir, it is not audible.
Okay. Now is it audible? See.
No, sir.
Not audible still?
Yes, audible.
Okay, I'll play it again for the last time. Was it audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. Now listen to this as well. Okay, now can I ask you the same question, please? What difference did you find between these two? Yes. Can somebody? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, you're audible.
Oh.
Lad, madam. Lord Madam, can you tell the difference between American and British English?
Okay, let us move ahead. Now,
Okay.
see, I shall tell you that when you found it, see, the British pronunciation has the lip slightly under the upper front teeth, whereas the American pronunciation, I mean, the lady pronouncing it as American sound, had her lip almost completely down or below her upper front teeth. So that was the difference between the British and American, say, pronunciation of this word. Now, what happens to the Indians? The Indians generally tend to pronounce f with the help of two lips, p. I mean, both the lips fixed together and p pronounced. They do not pronounce f. They do not pronounce it as f. Rather, they tend to pronounce it as p. Am I right? Mostly it happens. And that is what actually means that we do not pronounce it correctly, and that is why there's greater possibility of, say, miscommunication. I shall introduce two more sounds and then come to my PPT. See, here, so, I shall just introduce British pronunciation. Move ahead. Okay, let me come to my PPT. See, I was speaking about f and v. So these are the sounds that have been mispronounced by us, and then there are certain kinds of miscommunication. I was speaking about two lips fixing together to pronounce f, and that is an absolutely wrong way. Because when you speak to a native speaker, who is a native speaker? For example, the speaker from the UK, the US, Australia, Canada, etc. Now, these are the native speakers of English because their national as well as mother tongue, national language as well as mother tongue happens to be English. So these are the native speakers of English. See, third, we pronounce it as th. We pronounce it as th. I mean, uh, completely touching of the tip of the tongue, the back of the upper front teeth. But then that gives a different sound, not the one that you have recently experienced. The same case with the. See, this is a very common word, THIS, and the basic pronunciation of it is this. And we find that most of the people from our context pronounce it as this, the, whereas there's no the in English. Now, what is this? This is transcription. See, every standard dictionary gives you transcription. Transcription is nothing but the spoken pronunciation produced in the form of writing. That is called transcription. In every standard dictionary, you find this a standard pronunciation. And if you want to find the correct pronunciation of any word, then you have to understand it on the basis of this. Unless you understand this phonetic alphabet, this is called IPA symbols. You cannot have a proper understanding of that pronunciation. Now let us move on to the other consonant sounds. For example, s. It is not sir, but it is s. Let me play it for you again for a while so that it is quite clear to you. I used to pronounce it sir, but it is not sir. See what it is. Similarly, okay, I'll play this as well. Similarly, this is not z. Okay. Let me come to this again. So you have, for example, this word. Generally, we find the people tend to pronounce it as zebra, but it is not zebra. Rather, it is zebra. So these are the differences that come to us. This is sh. Example, shirt. See, the Americans would pronounce it as shirt, whereas the Indians, as shirt, etc. This is j, which occurs in pledge. This is her. Her is understandable to you. Then ma. Example, mouse. This is n. Example, nose. It is not nose. Rather, it is nose. Then we have ang. It is pronounced as ang. Example, sing. This is the transcription of it, sing. Then we have year. This is not J, but it is year. Symbol. It is year. Example, yes. R, you understand. As it is nose, this is also rose. Then you have L, as in love. And this is important. For example, W. Generally, whenever there is WH, people pronounce it as V, which is not acceptable at all. It is not V. Almost every WH, excepting WHO, WHOSE, etc., with a few exceptions, it is always V. It is always V, not V. So this has to be understood, and that is what actually I wanted to bring to your notice. Now these are the consonant sounds. They are 24. We have also the list of the vowel sounds. The vowel sounds are, 20. One category of them is the monophthongs. Monophthongs means they are single. They are single. See the difference. The first word, it is sit. This is E, short E. Example, sit. It is pronounced as sit. This is long E. Example, seat. For example, we say sit down. And we also say have a seat. This length has to be maintained if you want to be a clear communicator. Then we have A. Example, pest. This is A. Some people tend to term it as X. It is not X at all. As th, it is not theta. You are the people from, say, engineering or science. This is theta for you. But in English, it is th. Similarly, this is A. Example, cat. Then the next one is A. Example, fast. Then we have O, short O. There are two O's. Example, caught. The other one is long O. Example, caught. See, when you say, I have caught the thief, the pronunciation is misunderstood. When you say, I've caught a thief, then that is all right. I have sat on the cot. You cannot say, I've sat on the cot. No, it is not caught. When it is C-O-T, it is caught. Then we have two types of U. Example, pull, P-U-L-L, pull. Pull the string. And you also have the long U. Example, pull. I've pulled the string. And the other one is, I am swimming in the pool of water. So this length has to be maintained. Otherwise, it would certainly give rise to miscommunication. There are three types of verb. Example, this is short and strong. Example, this symbol indicates it is strong. Cut. I've cut a cake. And this is long. As you saw in bird. Now this is pronounced as cut. And this is pronounced as cut. 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 This is short. Weak it is called. Or short. And it is pronounced as a go. A go. So that is before you. Now these are the monophthongs. Monophthongs because they are the single letter sounds or single symbol sounds. We have the diphthongs. See, this is A. Example, paste. On the previous slide, it is pest. It is pest. But on this slide, it is paste. Paste. See the difference. Length is important. They are called as diphthongs because they are joint symbols. Then we have I. For example, my. Always pronounced as my. It's my book. It's not my, as we usually listen to. My name is. No. My name is. It should be like that. This is oi. Example, boy, not boy. Then we have air. Example, fair. See, R is put into brackets. You may have a question. If you want to ask later, you can put it to me and I shall explain to you. Otherwise, I shall explain it on my own to you. Then you have ear, example, clear. Then you have poor, example, poor. You have oh, example, no. It's not no, it's no. And the last one is ow, example, now. See the difference? No, now. So these are the 44 phonetic alphabet that we have. I shall discuss for 5 minutes more so that it is 60 minutes fully, because I began at a 4:15, I suppose, and my promise was to speak for 60 minutes, not more than that, please. See, I told you, when you pronounce f as p, I mean, instead of making your lower lip slightly touch your upper front teeth, as you saw in the video associated with f. If you pronounce it as pat, P-A-T, as pat, that means you're pronouncing as a native speaker or like native speaker. But if you want to pronounce F-A-T as pat, two lips composing together or composed together, then the native speaker would misunderstand it as P-A-T, not F-A-T. When you pronounce F-A-T as pat, the native speaker would understand it as P-A-T. Please remember, see, there's a difference between phonemic pronunciation and phonetic pronunciation. Phonemic pronunciation is what you see between the slashes, whereas phonetic pronunciation is to be seen into square brackets. And here you find that h is added, especially with these three sounds, that is p, t, and k. See, T-A-K-E, we pronounce it as tech, but it is not tech. At least phonemically it is take, and phonetically it is take. Take this. A native speaker would never pronounce it as take, take. He or she would always pronounce it as take. Take my back. Similarly, it is the case of cat, C-A-T. Phonemically, it is pronounced as cat, whereas phonetically, it is pronounced as cat. Cat. K becomes k there. Actually, there is no sound like k in English, but then h is added to that, and then it becomes k, like the one in Marathi or Urdu or Hindi. Similar case of the last three words, table, and they would pronounce it as table. I'm sitting at my table. Colony, we pronounce it as colony. They would pronounce it as colony. I forgot to put H here. I mean, that symbol. Similarly, pain. It is pain or pain. It is not pen. When you pronounce P-A-I-N as pen, the native speaker would understand it as P-E-N. So always remember that correct pronunciation gives rise to correct communication, whereas incorrect communication, or rather than incorrect, we can say non-standard pronunciation gives rise to miscommunication. communication. And that is where we can understand, that is how we can understand it. Now see, I spoke about, there are other factors as well, there are other slides as well. There are 9, and tomorrow there would be more. I spoke about transcription. Okay. Now I shall tell you what transcription is. See, this is the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. And here, when I type a word like say, you get this. This is called transcription. Once you fully understand, or once you understand fully well these symbols, I can guarantee you, you would never mispronounce the words the way possibly you do most of the times today. So correcting pronunciation would always help you. More importantly, this pronunciation, correct pronunciation, would always make meaningful communication, and also a better benefit of it would be the people would be interested in listening to you. So you listen to many a person in English or that speak English, but you would find that there would be very few that would leave, say, an impression upon your mind, an impression upon your memory. Why does it happen? Because the speakers that do not make an appeal to you haven't spoken in accordance with the standard norms, and that's why they appeal you less, and you find their communication less appealing. Whereas you find that there are certain exceptional speakers that always interest you, that always attract you. Why? Because they have maintained proper pronunciation, proper accent, proper intonation in their communication. And that, of course, leads to, say, more meaningful communication. And that is how actually it happens. So there's nothing wrong in going for, say, a standard communication, or say a better way of communication. There's nothing wrong with it. Because learning the things for, say, better atmosphere is always good. It is always healthy. And if we exercise efforts, everything is possible for us. Look to the past. You would find that there were many, many better speakers of English, better writers of English. And today, we find that we rarely find better writers or speakers of English. Why does it happen? Because we did not have, or we do not have possibly that kind of commitment to the area of English by the people. And that is why it happens to us. So my request to you is, you try to assimilate better way of pronunciation, better way of communication in you. And that is all possible. There are better books, there are better dictionaries, with the help of which, are even better videos by the native speakers, with the help of which you can develop your communication skills well. So I would like to say that even though this is slightly challenging, it is quite easy. It is quite possible for you to master it. So with these few words, I would like to say that I feel much obliged to the Honorable Principal for this kind invitation to be a speaker of a session to this FDP, that is Faculty Development Program. I hope I have done my job to a satisfactory extent. I am equally grateful to Mr. Sergey Rao Narwade, who actually pursued the case of getting me involved in this faculty development program in the capacity of a speaker. I'm also grateful to Mr. Amit Chavan, who has quite nicely introduced me to you all, and also the head department of English, Dr. Anushka Tripathi, and every faculty member of this college. And as I would like to put it, more importantly, every member from the audience side deserves my special thanks, because without them, I would be a crazy speaker speaking to myself. So thank you very much again, one and all, for this nice association. Thank you very much. With this, I wait for your questions. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, sir. I just would like to invite the question and queries about anyone have. Shall anyone raise their queries, question to ask Milind Pandit, sir? Sir, I would like to tell that Sanjay Ji, you want to ask a question?
Yes, I have a little question to Mr. Sandeep. Sorry, Milind Pandit, sir. Hello.
Yes, please.
I can. Hello, sir.
Listening to you,
Hello,
sir.
Pandit, sir.
Listening
Yes,
to you,
good,
sir.
very good evening to you, sir, from me.
Okay, good afternoon. Yes, please.
Uh-huh. It was a very nice session to have with you to get the so much fundamental knowledge about phonetics and pronunciation. In fact, very things were not known to us, which
Okay.
look to be very common, but I still come to know about the details today from you. I have this little strange question.
Yes, please.
From pronunciation point of view,
Mm.
whenever it is a ch term is there, it is pronounced as a k in Marathi.
Yes.
Like I will give you some examples. Mechanical. Sorry, it is mechanical now. Sorry.
Okay.
Mechanical. So ch is there. It is coming as a k. Okay.
Yes.
Chemical. Chemical. It is again k.
Yes.
We pronounce it as a k. Technology. TECH. There is a k.
Yes.
Then when it comes to teacher, TEACH,
Yes.
why people don't pronounce it ticker?
Okay.
So is there any because English looks something really strange and weird language because they do not have any particular rule to follow.
Okay. So,
Yes.
Mr.
What's your opinion on this, sir?
Mr. Swapnil
Yes.
has added to your list, and he has put in a word child.
Yes, sir.
Yes, first of all, thank you very much for your kind compliment. And yes, I appreciate your question very much. A friend of mine, when we happened to be undergraduate students, used to,
Yes.
classmate he was, he used to ask us a question. If we have a k in circle, circle, then why can't we pronounce CIRCUMSTANCE as Kirkumastans? So the similar question, I remembered my classmate by way of this. Anyway, rules are there, and mostly they are scientific in English. For
Okay.
example, there's a book called
Mm-hmm.
entitled A Course in Phonetics and Spoken English. It's a very nice book authored
Mm-hmm.
by Jay Sethi and P.V. Damija, the former professors at EFL University
Mm-hmm.
Hyderabad, that is English and Foreign Languages University nowadays. In the past, it was CIEFL. So they
Okay.
have given specific, rules related to, this. For example, if
Mm-hmm.
ch is ch in one place, it can also be
Mm-hmm.
k in the other. And there are
Mm-hmm.
many other things. There are many other
Mm-hmm.
spellings as well, spellings and sounds. So every sound
Mm-hmm.
has its explanation with the help of spellings. For example, they say K has
Mm-hmm.
these following spellings. Ch has these following spellings. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
English is a weird language, you have rightly pointed out. But then
Sorry.
English is also more scientific because phonetics of
Mm-hmm.
English is more developed, and there is
Mm-hmm.
a way
Mm-hmm.
to understand each and everything, and causes and
Mm-hmm.
effects, reasons behind
Mm-hmm.
the things that we study. So that way,
Mm-hmm.
at least I can say that at least 90% of English has
Mm-hmm.
the proofs, reasons, and explanations available for the things
Mm-hmm.
that come
Mm-hmm.
to us as problematic. So if
Mm-hmm.
we go to standard sources, we can find them.
Oh,
So yes,
okay.
that is there, and it is the what we can say creation of the linguists as to why
Mm-hmm.
ch is ch in one place and k in the other. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you also find that there are words derived from another language. There are words
Mm-hmm.
copied from another language. For example, when we pronounce
Uh,
certain French words, you
yes, yes.
find that French words have different pronunciations. Like
Ye-
entrepreneur, entrepreneur, they would be
Yes, yes, yes.
it is entrepreneur. We also have
Yes, nowadays, yes.
yes,
Mm.
we also have the
Yeah,
word.
nowadays that has become, yes. Nowadays that has become very buzzword, and everybody is
Yes,
yes,
uh,
running behind this entrepreneurship and all. Yes,
yes. We also
yes,
have
yes, yes,
the words, beginning with P, but per being silent
uh,
there. For example, psychology, pneumonia, etc.
yes, yes.
So
Same is the
these
case
are
with knowledge also.
yes, knowledge. So these are the words that
Yes,
have been borrowed from other languages
other
as
languages. Yes,
they were, and their pronunciation has been maintained. There are some words
yes, yes,
whose pronunciation has been changed, and there are some
yes,
others
yes,
whose pronunciation has been maintained as it is. Okay,
yes, yes,
so that
yes.
is how
Thank you.
I can respond to
Yes,
your question. I hope this
yes,
is
yes.
satisfactory. Yes.
Yes, 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 and this debate can go long
Oh,
over the
yes.
distance because there is no any perfect or right answer. Everybody has his own opinions, and that I can understand. Just wanted to know about your opinion. That's
Okay, okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Had a very
Well,
nice discussion with you, and I
oh,
think looking forward to have a nice day tomorrow also.
oh, sure. Let us
Yes.
see.
Oh,
I'll do my best.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir, I would like to add one more thing about
Yes.
sir. The way you talk, that one is really impressed us.
Oh,
So
thank you very much.
thank you very much. Okay, so we are at the end of this session, but
Okay.
I'm feeling proud, and it's my duty to extend a vote of thanks.
Okay.
I feel proud to extend a vote of thanks on the day 5 of this faculty development program.
Hmm.
Firstly, I would like to thank our guest of honor and speaker of the day, Dr. Milind Pandit, for helping us to understand the issues and questions about the phonetics. Phonetics, though, as a complicated topic, we understand much of it and its global importance. We were also come to know meaning of a semantics as a science of meaning, difference between the British and American pronunciation. We were also to know the exact number of sounds in English, the pronunciation of many words in English. Certainly, we will try our best to improve this. Thank you very much, sir, once again. Again, I would like to mention a note of gratitude to Chairman Vishal Dada Patil and Trustee Shri Amit Dada Patil for their blessing and valuable guidance. I express heartiest thanks to our principal, sir, Dr. D.V. Gevde, for their kind support in providing necessary guidance. I express thanks to all the participants. I thank A. Patil ma'am, the head of the first year engineering department, for their encouragement, and our coordinator, Yasin Narawde. And last but not the least, I express thanks to all the members of the organizing committee and technical supporting staff. So, goodbye, sir. We will meet right on tomorrow.
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Thank you
now
very much. I was so happy being part of it.
Very nice session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam.
Sir,
Yes, Patil madam, sir. Patil sir बोलते हैं. Hello.
Yes.
I have prepared the feedback form for given by the Narwade sir,
Okay, sir.
and that has been sent. Link has been sent to the mail. Your and Narwade sir's mail.
Okay, sir. We'll check.
So please forward it and
Okay.
ask to complete to all the participants.
Narwade sir. Tomorrow's session.
yes, it is at same time, and
No problem for resource person.
What's timing, sir? What is the timing? What is the timing?
Same timing, sir. Same timing. 4 p.m.
any problem? Do you have Dr. Milind Pandit sir? Do you have any problem at 4 o'clock?
No problem.
Yes. Okay. No, sir. Sir, in brief, tell what we will be covering tomorrow. I mean, accent.
Tomorrow we shall cover accent, syllable, and intonation.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you all.